Hey everyone, welcome back to Frame Theory. Time travel movies love hiding their real mechanics behind flashy visuals, but 10 films on this list operate under time rules you probably missed completely. These aren't just twists, they're entire systems hidden in plain sight. Let's decode the frames. Predestination's time loop isn't just circular, it's a bootstrap paradox where cause and effect don't exist. The film follows a temporal agent chasing a terrorist across decades, but the mechanics reveal something more disturbing. Every element in the story exists without origin: the agent, the bomber, the recruit, even the organization itself. Nothing was created. Everything always existed in a closed causal loop. The temporal agency doesn't prevent paradoxes, they manufacture them by design. Their recruitment targets individuals who can become their own parents, their own enemies, their own salvation, all simultaneously. The violin-case time machine doesn't travel linearly, it exists at all points at once. When the agent jumps, he's not moving forward or backward, he's accessing a moment that's always happening. The film's title reveals the truth. Everything is predetermined, because there's no timeline. Only one eternal present shaped like a loop. Causality is the illusion. The loop is reality. Timecrimes doesn't show one man traveling through time. It reveals three versions existing simultaneously in a single hour. Hector activates a time machine and jumps back 1 hour. This creates a duplicate in the same timeline. Most audiences think he's fixing mistakes, but the mechanics work differently. The film operates on rigid closed-loop rules. Hector's actions in the past directly cause his present events. He's not changing anything. He's completing a sequence that already happened. The bandaged Hector attacking his earlier self isn't random violence. It's required for timeline stability. Each version must perform specific actions to trigger the next jump. This creates a mechanical chain reaction. You can see the machine only goes backward exactly 1 hour. The mechanism is locked to prevent timeline fragmentation. The horrifying implication emerges in the final frames. Hector didn't create this loop today. The loop has existed forever. His consciousness is trapped inside, experiencing the same trauma infinitely while believing each iteration is his first time. Time doesn't flow forward, it circles. 12 Monkeys time travel doesn't allow changes. It forces Cole to complete a predetermined past that creates his future. Cole is sent from 2035 to prevent a plague. But the film reveals he's not changing history. He's creating it. Every attempt to stop the virus helps spread it. Every message he delivers causes the future he's trying to prevent. The time loop operates as closed determinism. Free will is an illusion. Recurring imagery proves the point. The same airport scene plays multiple times with perspective shifts. This confirms Cole isn't experiencing linear time. He's circling through fixed moments. The scientists in 2035 know they can't change the past. They've studied Cole's historical appearances. They know where he'll be and when. They're not sending him to fix anything. They're sending him to fulfill recorded history. The film's title refers to the 12 Monkeys organization, but hidden patterns suggest something darker. Cole is the 12th iteration of this mission, repeating eternally. Time doesn't heal or change. It calcifies into an unchangeable block. Before we continue, if Predestination's bootstrap paradox broke your brain, wait until ARQ turns quantum mechanics into a weapon. Let's keep breaking down these time mechanics. Edge of Tomorrow's reset loop isn't random chance. It's a biological weapon using time as ammunition. Cage dies and wakes at the same point repeatedly. This looks like Groundhog Day in a war movie, but the mechanics are more sinister. The Omega alien controls time by resetting the day. Whenever the hive mind is threatened, the loop restarts. This allows optimization across thousands of iterations until victory is guaranteed. Cage didn't gain this power by accident. He absorbed alpha blood. This turned him into a sensor within the Omega's temporal network. The film reveals the aliens aren't experiencing loops consciously. The Omega operates like a quantum computer running automatic simulations. Every time Cage dies, the invasion resets. The Omega retains strategic knowledge. They've already won this battle millions of times in previous timelines. The film's final reset reveals the darkest truth. When Cage absorbs the Omega's blood, he inherits temporal control. The happy ending shows him waking earlier than before. This suggests he's trapped in the Omega's role, forever resetting reality whenever he dies, unable to escape his function as time's prisoner. Source code doesn't send Coulter back in time. It traps his dying consciousness in quantum simulation, creating real alternate timelines. The mission claims Coulter accesses a dead man's memory. He needs to find a bomber in the last 8 minutes, but the mechanics reveal something darker. Source code doesn't replay the past. It uses dying neural patterns to construct parallel quantum realities. These branch from the moment of death. Each time Coulter enters the train, he's not viewing history. He's spawning a new universe where events play out differently. Impossible changes confirm this. Coulter alters details the original victim never experienced. People recognize him as someone other than the body he inhabits. These aren't memory errors. They're proof each loop generates independent reality. The ending, where Coulter stays in the final loop, doesn't mean freedom. He abandoned his original reality. He chose to exist as a quantum ghost wearing someone else's life. Meanwhile, his actual body remains in custody. Brain dead, but generating infinite parallel timelines. He's not free. He's fractured across infinity. Looper's time travel doesn't create paradoxes. It operates on immediate self-correction where changes propagate through living tissue in real time. When older Joe appears, younger Joe sees his future self. Most focus on the assassination plot, but the system operates on brutal logic. Changes to the past don't erase people or create alternate timelines. They rewrite living bodies instantly. When the mob captures Seth and removes body parts, older Seth's body loses the same parts. This happens while he's running in the present. Time doesn't flow linearly. It exists as a connected physical system. Everyone in 2074 simultaneously experiences their 2044 past. Changes in the earlier timeline instantly propagate forward through flesh. The film's most horrifying implication shows when Joe watches memories change. His future self makes different choices in real time. The ending, where Joe ends his timeline, doesn't free him. It demonstrates the only escape from temporal manipulation is self-termination. Time in Looper isn't a river. It's a biological curse written into cells. The only way out is cutting yourself from the timeline entirely. About Time's time travel looks like a romantic gift, but it operates on hidden selective rules that trap Tim in an invisible cage. Tim can travel to any moment in his past. He closes his eyes and focuses. This seems liberating until you map the mechanics. He can change small events and personal interactions, but he cannot alter anything affecting his children's conception. The moment his daughter is born, every timeline before that becomes locked forever. The film reveals the trap when Tim's father dies. Tim wants to revisit childhood memories, but he can't, because doing so creates a timeline where his daughter might not exist. The time travel gift becomes a prison the moment Tim becomes a father. He must choose between accessing his past or protecting his children's existence. The film presents this as maturity, but the mechanics reveal something darker. Time travel here is a genetic trap. The more you use it to find love, the more your timeline locks. By the final scene, Tim lives each day without rewinding. He's not choosing wisdom. He's acknowledging that children made him a temporal prisoner who can never access his past without erasing them. Frequency's time communication doesn't just send messages, it creates branching quantum states where multiple versions of the past coexist simultaneously. Frank and John talk across 30 years using a ham radio. When John gives information preventing his father's death, viewers think the timeline changed, but the system operates differently. Both past versions continue existing as quantum superpositions. These collapse into different presents depending on what crosses the radio link. When Frank survives, the present changes, but John retains memories of both timelines. This proves his consciousness exists outside the rewritten timeline. Each conversation doesn't erase previous reality. It creates a new branch while John's awareness travels between them. The ending suggests they fixed everything, but the truth is quantum instability. Every communication generates new timeline branches. Different event versions become real. John's consciousness is trapped between superpositions. He remembers multiple pasts that simultaneously did and didn't happen. He didn't save his father. He fractured reality into competing versions existing eternally in quantum suspension. The Endless reveals its cult isn't worshipping a deity. They're trapped in a spatial time loop controlled by an extra-dimensional entity harvesting their deaths infinitely. Brothers Justin and Aaron return to the cult they escaped. Strange events suggest supernatural forces, but the mechanics reveal the camp exists inside localized time loops. Specific boundaries mark zone transitions. Everyone inside repeats the same period eternally. The entity resets time before the moon aligns. This forces cult members to relive final days forever, while it feeds on temporal suffering. Varying loop lengths expose the system. Different areas have different reset periods. One man throws a rope. It returns immediately. This suggests a micro-loop of seconds. A cabin plays out over years. Another area loops daily. The entity isn't creating one loop. It maintains multiple overlapping temporal zones segmenting space into different time rates. The brothers' escape isn't freedom. It's a brief exit before the next reset. The entity controls them through tapes and photos surviving resets. Their escape years ago was part of a longer loop they don't remember. They've left and returned infinite times. The entity adjusts loop parameters each iteration. Time doesn't flow forward outside. It's all within the entity's control. ARQ's time loop isn't a malfunction. It's a weaponized quantum battery resetting reality every time someone tries stealing its infinite energy. Renton wakes to home invaders every loop. He dies repeatedly trying to save Hannah. But the device operates with dark purpose. The ARQ machine doesn't just loop time. It actively consumes alternate timelines as fuel. It collapses parallel realities into a single repeating cycle. Every reset isn't safety. It's the device feeding on branching possibilities to generate infinite energy. Knowledge transfers inconsistently between loops. Some characters remember previous iterations, others don't. This suggests consciousness fragmentation across quantum states. The machine isn't resetting one timeline. It's pulling survivors from collapsing parallel realities. It merges them into the primary loop. Each person represents a quantum shard from a destroyed alternate timeline. The ending where they try escaping the house suggests freedom, but the truth reveals they can never leave the loop's spatial boundaries. The ARQ doesn't just control time, it rewrote physical space around itself into a pocket dimension. The same hours repeat infinitely while outside moves forward. Renton didn't invent clean energy. He created a prison-consuming reality itself. He's trapped inside, powering it with eternal suffering. Researching this video, I discovered incredible time loop films like ARQ and Timecrimes I'd never explored before. Which mechanic blew your mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into hidden cinema mechanics, subscribe and hit that bell. See you next time.